Washoe County corruption. Continued public testimony by I, a man, Jeffrey Merritt Wilson, for the exhibits 1 through 33 criminal claims. This testimony is Exhibit 7. Official oath, Miriam Canderas. Okay. Exhibit 7. Referral, criminal claims against Robert Arthur Naring, Natalie Ann Naring et al. Copyright copy claim. This product works. Contract notice claims by the Jeffrey Merritt Wilson, author. Page 18 of 47. This particular exhibit, I'm just going to read it off. This is Mr. Belfort's. He has his own testimony to this, but it's in the criminal claims as evidence. Here's the filed stamped. Right here, it was on February 6, 2024. This is Jonathan Belfort. He's authorized me to show this, and I served this document upon Patrick Ramey Millsap, and it was in the Justice Court of the Reno Township, Washoe County, Nevada State. Case number RSC 2019-000337, motion notice for reopen. And it's Jonathan Belfort. So, lawful direction for this motion notice to reopen this case due to newfound realized evidence being overwhelmingly and outrageous acts of frauds and gross misrepresentations, concealments brought upon this court and against my title concerning testimony and representations by the defendants, attorneys, insurance companies, former officers, directors of Wilcox Ranch Property Owners Association. Justifications, exhibits 1 through 33, as partial due to size of realized evidence. Fraud vitiates all. Department 6, proof of service notice. Now, wanted to talk about this one against my title. Take note that Mr. Belfort filed this on February 6, 2024, and he knew there was a problem with the title. And I've talked with them about this, and it was noticed to Washoe County. There's a title problem, and currently Washoe County is attacking him with the planning building department when they know there's a title problem. So this was noticed to all of them here. The attorneys that have liens on the property, and I personally did the proof of service on this. Okay, so we'll go down here and let's read what he had to say here. Okay, claims now after multiple reviews of Wilcox Ranch Property Owners Associations, known records and books, I, Jonathan Belfort, find and realize newfound evidence consisting of what I claim to be an overwhelming and outrageous acts of frauds and gross misrepresentations, concealments, title clouded, brought upon this court. Case number RSC 2019-000337. Claims by the defendants, co-actors, attorneys, et al., who represented to this court that they had the authority to grade on my property at the time they did the damages while under the advisement of attorneys running, managing a for-profit association who are trained in law matters and are supposed to know the law and to protect rights. This is not the case here. According to the evidence, exhibits 1 through 33 herein on its face proves otherwise. The former president and secretary, Robert Arthur Naring, Natalie Ann Naring, and the attorneys, current associates, had first-hand knowledge that there was a major problem with the accounting, checks written by them to them, and the ballot tally extent of ink papers. That apparently was a 3-year-long vote in which the first 2 times not enough votes were made to continue the duration of the association including the attempt to conceal the declarations of reservations from 1981 expiring in 2001, in which the attorneys had full knowledge of and even referenced to it in the POA records several times by several attorneys, that they may not have any authority to work on the road according to their advice as Exhibit 17. Then on the third vote, 3 years, Exhibit 2, after they had damaged my property twice, all of a sudden they had 56 votes, 5 director votes, exactly enough to be legal, and then they filed with the Secretary of State, a perpetual existence. Shortly after, while at or about the same time, the attorneys Kern and Associates had recorded liens, Exhibit 15, on my property and the rest of the members' properties. This does not add up according to the timelines, dates, and the 3-year vote. Okay, and he's got a thing. They knew and were questioning authority of the POA via attorney advisements. Further, I did not get to vote, or nor was I notified by any ballot of the vote, and it is a ridiculous notion to believe that this would have not been a beneficial disclosure for this case as further proof of my claims. They denied me that right and concealed it from this court, i.e. fraud upon the court. Now then, they, defendants et al., say the POA doesn't exist, they don't owe, and is not lawfully operating. Case number RSC 2023-000823. Even though they had been running, operating, representing, claiming properties, levying charges, late fees, threats of foreclosures for 15 years or so, whilst they were running a for-profit association for their benefits with no accounting, no signed ballots or other proofs. It is my belief that some sort of real estate, HOA, POA scheme or racket has been taking place, and seemingly there are many co-actors involved, now causing a drastic devalue of my property that has no road maintenance or repair, and not to forget the emergency services access denials, along with continued harassments. Defendants, co-actors, attorneys et al. Have been running, managing, representing a for-profit association while licensed under the Secretary of State, with no proof of documentations, ballots, time cards, invoices, other member funds, and they financially benefiting from their acts, which were unlawful. Lastly, but not limiting, I provide proofs, Exhibits 1 through 33, that are true and correct copies, attested witness to, of the partials physical records known of Wilcox Ranch Property Owners Association as follows, with brief description, claims as I motion moved by joiner authors witnesses this court to reopen due to fraud claims, justifications, quiet title controversies, claims equals movement for the fraudulent representations and operations of former Wilcox Ranch POA officers, and title infringement, liens, trespass equals fraud upon this court, honest services fraud, aiding and abetting, etc. All rights reserved. Jonathan Belfort. Proof of claims follow descriptions. Exhibit 1, order from this case number RSC 2019-000337. Exhibit 2, ballots, tally, extent of ink, papers, minutes, proofs. Exhibit 3, expired declaration of reservations. Exhibit 4, liens, Jarvis, design detailing. Exhibit 5, Belfort letter to Kern, 180K, default, no answer. Exhibit 6, Kern attorney credentials, representations. Exhibit 7, demand denial, 10K by Kern representations. Exhibit 8, attempts for protective order against Belfort. Exhibit 9, billing costs, Belfort total partial. Exhibit 10, Natalie contact attorney for foreclosures. Exhibit 11, to provide Kern with all governing documents. Exhibit 12, admission liens on members' properties. Exhibit 13, Glathar, former officer requesting funds. Exhibit 14, officers' knowledge of CCRs expired. Exhibit 15, Kern lien on Belfort property. Exhibit 16, cease and desist, intent to file legal action. Exhibit 17, Kern POA, no authority to maintain the roads. Exhibit 18, consequences, amendment not approved. Exhibit 19, to renew expired declarations of reservations. Exhibit 20, ballot sample not in records, fake votes. Exhibit 21, lien operations by Natalie A. Naring, Kern, Gerard. Exhibit 22, officers do not have coverage, State Farm. Exhibit 23, looks like we have coverage controversy. Exhibit 24, unanimous written consent by officers. Exhibit 25, collection policy notice, Ran Reno at AOL.com. Exhibit 26, attorney witnesses advice declarations. Exhibit 27, extension of incorporation by officers. Exhibit 28, minutes, Secretary Treasurer vote, Dozer. Exhibit 29, failure of Wilcox Ranch self-dealing conflict. Exhibit 30, checks in question for profit, no documentations. Exhibit 31, W-9s, operation financial proofs. Exhibit 32, Belfort letter, Kern, State Farm, no responses. Exhibit 33, Belfort escrow closed, bargain contract. Okay. If requested, Secretary Treasurer PO will attest to exhibits. That would be me. I have them in my possession. 2/6/24, Jonathan Belfort. So this will be the conclusion of this part of it. I will show his emails and talk about it. I'm not going to testify to what his thing is here, but I will show it and give my take on it. But Mr. Belfort already has his testimony to these 1 through 33 exhibits, and that will be posted somewhere down the line here. Stand by.